Good morning, dear students. This is Reena S. Kumar, your English teacher, and I welcome you all to our English online classes. I hope you all are fine by the grace of God. As we all know, the world is facing a very crucial situation, and we are all aware about the ongoing situation. So, dear students, we will study through our online classes, which is safe and at the same time beneficial also for all of us. So today in this class, we are going to study a new poem from the poetry section of our Beehive book. And the title of the poem is The Lake Isle of Innisfree, which is written by William Butler Yeats. Now before we begin with the poem, let's learn something about the poet and a small introduction of the poem. What is the poem about? So first we will learn about the poet. The poet of this poem is William Butler Yeats. He was an Irish poet and widely considered to be one of the greatest poets of 20th century. He was a pillar of both the Irish as well as British literary establishments. He received the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1923. And some of his famous works are A Vision, The Tower, Second Coming, The Wandering of Oisins, The Secret Rose, and many other poems. He was a leading Irish poet and a playwright. So this was all about the poet. Now coming back to the poem, we'll see a small introduction of the poem. This poem is a lyric. Now children, lyric means a song or a musical poem which can be sung. It explores the poet's longing for peace and tranquility of Innisfree. Now what is Innisfree? Innisfree is a place where he spent a lot of time when he was a small boy. And he has sweet memories of his childhood which he spent on that island. And now he wants to go back to this island and spend a peaceful life there. He is fed up of the busy, crowded life of city, and so he wants to go to the island and spend a peaceful life over there. Now we will discuss the stanza and I will give you the explanation and word meanings. So what is the first stanza? I will arise and go now and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin built there of clay and wattles made. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honeybee, and live alone in the bee-loud glade. Now children, in the first stanza, the first line says, arise means stand up, and wattles means twisted sticks for making fences, or you can say the boundary of our houses. And bean is a creeper or a plant which we grow in our fields. And bee loud glade means the sound of bees which we found in the forest. So in the first stanza, the poet says, I will arise and go now and go to Innisfree. Means I here refers to the poet. The poet is referring to himself. He says he will wake up and go to the island of Innisfree and he will live there. In the second line, he says there he will build a small cabin. Cabin means a cottage or a room, a small room for himself, and he will live over there. And the room he will make of clay and wattles. Wattles are twisted sticks for making fences. With the clay and wattles, he will build up a small room on the island. Then he says he will grow beans near his room, from which he will get his food to eat, and he will get honey from the honey beehive. And then he says, I will live alone in the bee loud glade, means in the forest. He wants to live in the peaceful forest, and from there he can hear the sound of the bees. And in the second stanza, what does the second stanza says? And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the vales of the morning to where the cricket sings. Their midnights all a glimmer, and noon a purple glow, and evening full of the linnet's wings. In the second stanza, veils means a cover, or you can say a cloth by which we cover our face. That is called veils. And cricket is the name of an insect which we hear the sound of the cricket. It is a male insect. Its name is cricket. In the third line, glimmer means shining, the brightness of the noontime. Then linnets means small birds. It is a name of a small bird, a gray and brown colored bird. So, in the second stanza, what the poet wants to tell us that then he will go to the island and there he will live all alone on the island, and there he will feel peace which is felt slowly. How does we feel peaceful? Slowly. So in the same way the poet wants to feel peacefulness over there very slowly. And in the morning, now he's describing the different parts of the day. So first he's telling about the morning. In the morning, when the weather is cloudy, you all must have observed the morning, it is very cloudy. You can see like dhund hoti hai, it is covered with clouds, and as a cloud and the mist, the wo jo dhund, it disappears, it looks like it is opening the brightness, the sun is rising and giving us brightness. So when the veil or the cover is removed from the face, we can see the face. In the same way, in the morning, the poet feels happiness, peacefulness when he looks the morning. It's so bright and beautiful as the veil is removed, and it looks bright and peaceful for him. He enjoys over there. The, and then he says he enjoys the sound of the cricket. Now that cricket insect is making a sound which is looking as if he is singing, and that song gives him peace to his mind. Then the poet is telling, in the midnight when he looks, the shining stars, glimmer means shining stars, when he's looking to the shining stars, it gives him peace. In the noontime, the purplish glow, now they are telling the color of the sun rays, it is looking like purplish, so that glow also gives him peace. In the evenings, he will see the linnet birds flying. Now, what is a linnet? I told you before, linnet is a small brown or gray colored bird. And when he will see all these birds when they are flying in the evening, he feels very peaceful after looking to those birds. So, in this stanza, the poet describes how he will feel peaceful during the whole day. He's describing the different parts of a day, the morning, the noontime, evening, and the midnight. How he will feel, he will admire the beautiful nature, the creatures, and how peaceful he feels over there. The morning shines, the cricket insects singing, the purple glow of the noontime, and in the evening, the linnet birds flying in the sky. Now, all these things gives him peace, and he will admire the beautiful nature in the island. In the third stanza, the poet says, I will arise and go now for always night and day. I hear the lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. While I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's grey, I hear it in the deep heart's core. Now, in the third stanza, again the poet is repeating his desire, he's insisting. And here, in the third stanza, lapping words means striking, takrana. And the pavement's word means the path in the forest or a pathway. So, in this stanza, what the poet is saying, I will stand up and go to Innisfree, and over there all the time, day and night, he can hear the sound of the water of the lake which is striking the shore. जो पानी के टकराने की आवाज़, जो शोर से किनारे पे पानी के टकराने की आवाज़ है, he can feel that sound in the depth of his heart. When the lake water will strike, that sound gives him peace. And then the poet says, I can feel the sound of the water in the depth of his heart. while he's walking in the this line, the poet says, wherever he's walking, whether he's walking on the roadway or any pathway, he feels he's standing near the lake, and he can feel the sound of the water which is striking on the shore. He can feel that sound in his heart, in the depth of his heart, and that sound gives him very peaceful feeling. So, children, in this poem, the poet is expressing his heart's desire that he wants to go to the lake Isle of Innisfree, and there he feels very peaceful. He will build a small cottage over there and admire the beautiful and peaceful nature on the lake Isle of Innisfree. I hope you have understood the poem. Thank you.